Well, thank you so much for joining us here on the Market Day Report. It's Crop Progress Tuesday, as we like to refer to it. And we have a lot of data to take a look at, and we can bring in a little extra expert help to talk about it, too. We have Rich Nelson on the line of Allendale Incorporated in McHenry, Illinois. So, Rich, what did you think of the numbers when they came out? We can take a look at the national crop progress or condition numbers and see what you think. On the corn, nothing changed, did it?
You know, for the most part, that's exactly right. USDA left numbers unchanged as far as the top 18 states. For corn, 67% good to excellent. And as far as that goes, you know, I was actually surprised we didn't see any real sway. Nebraska, which is still generally net dry, was unchanged. Looking at most of these other states, we did see some rainfall states. For instance, Iowa picking up 1%. Illinois and Indiana also up 1%. So in terms of the overall numbers, I've got to say on the corn side, a little surprised we didn't benefit. Soybeans were up 1% overall on a nationwide basis. And same type of story there, looking at Nebraska, that actually did fall about 2%. Iowa here up 1%. Illinois and Indiana also up 1%. So for the most part, corn unchanged, soybeans up 1%. Might not give the trade a higher prices here today, but certainly could stabilize some prices at maybe a penny or two lower.
Yeah, you were mentioning the I-80 corridor when it comes to the corn condition, and like you say, most things didn't vary more than maybe 1 percentage point, although it looks like Ohio went up 3. On the I-80 corridor for soybean condition, it looks like generally everything went up 1 point except for Nebraska, and they did decline by a couple of percentage points there. I guess the big story overnight, Rich, happened to be in the spring wheat condition, and if we have that screen handy, there was a big decline in the spring wheat condition, and that really caught the market's attention. We had some big gains overnight in the futures trade.
And that has been quite a bit of a discussion here, and this decline overnight, the 4% decline, is a surprise here for us, and this comes after what's been a very tough spring wheat condition here this whole time here. In fact, as far as ratings, don't forget, we started out at 62% good to excellent just 3 weeks ago, and here we are sitting at 41% good to excellent. So definitely quite a bit of decline here in these numbers, and market may give this wheat market perhaps some stability here in the coming days now.
Well, let's take a look at that Minneapolis trade overnight in that Globex market, and I'll show folks what I was talking about here. We had gains overnight of about 12 to 14 cents higher or so, and right now things have really settled down. We're on the low of the overnight session at last check, so July Minneapolis wheat was only 5 higher at 644.5. Any thoughts as to why that could have eased back so much off of those strong double-digit gains overnight?
I typically suggest that a lot of people are still looking at these weather forecasts as a main driver of price, and though we did come back off those highs a bit here, keep in mind we're still looking at a forecast for the next few days, which does suggest that most of the Midwest will be seeing some rains here. Maybe not too much here as far as the spring wheat areas up in North Dakota. But from just a general trade viewpoint, they're suggesting that rains will be beneficial for the crops and therefore bearish on price.
Okay, let's take a quick look here at our overnight trade if we could. We'll start with that corn, and corn was down 2 1/4 overnight at last check at 373 on the July. And on the soybean side, we had July showing a last trade of 933. That was on the low of the session and down 4 3/4 cents. And new crop November was down a nickel at 943.5. And then if you look at the wheat markets in the overnight trade on Chicago wheat, we were down a couple of cents at 465. Kansas City wheat was actually, down 5 1/4 at 467 1/4 at the end of the session. Cotton market, just to make sure we cover that, cotton on July was down 27 points at 71.12. Rich, good to visit with you. I look forward to talking to you again soon.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Rich Nelson of Allendale Incorporated in McHenry, Illinois. We'll be back in just a moment to talk about our livestock trade next.